America is in a crisis situation right now. And during the months and years ahead, we're all going to see things we never thought possible in our country. And unfortunately, the majority of the population is totally unprepared for what is about to happen. Now, I'm talking about the attempted globalist takeover of our country. This is a plan to divide and conquer America. And so far, it is working. Right now, the global banking cartels and the UN are using a wave of Islamic migrants to completely destroy the sovereignty of Western nations. We've all seen what's been going on in Europe with the migrant crisis, engineered, by the way, by the globalists. And guess what? We're next. Because George Soros, public enemy number one, and perhaps the best-known New World Order globalist, says Europe's refugee crisis should be accepted as the new normal. And that means new opportunities for Soros organizations and the UN to influence immigration policies on a global scale. Meanwhile, it's no secret that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton both want to dramatically increase illegal immigration into America. In fact, Hillary wants to allow Syrian refugees in numbers far greater than Obama ever dreamed of. I mean, we're talking on the same level or on the same scale as Europe or worse. And it's no secret that George Soros is one of Hillary's biggest campaign donors. This guy is dumping millions and millions of dollars into Hillary's campaign. And if their plan goes into effect and succeeds, you will no longer recognize this country. America as you know it, over, gone. In fact, the most likely outcome of a migrant crisis, of race riots and open borders is civil war, because the globalists want to burn this baby to the ground.
Exactly. So we know that he's a big contributor to Hillary Clinton. We know that groups like Southern Poverty Law is a big recipient of Soros and his money. So looking at what they're doing and how they're trying to frame the narrative so that we go along with it, it becomes our new norm, and our borders, they collapse, and then mass immigration will follow. We know that Hillary Clinton, she said on Face the Nation that we're not doing our part, that we have to assume more responsibility for Syrian refugees. There's one report, Aaron, that says that she would take upwards of 400,000. No,
this is going to be nowhere near what Obama let in. I mean, the next phase is to really, this will be a tsunami of Syrian refugees, and they want open borders. You know, it's funny, you're talking about George Soros, you named the Southern Poverty Law Center, but think about the groups that he funds. Communist revolutionary groups here in the United States, La Raza, okay?
We've
Southern
got
Poverty Law Center.
500,000 this year alone. You're absolutely right. That's one of he's on the hit list of this exposed organization.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that makes me
No, it's fine.
so
And like I said, the list goes on and on. But these are all anti-American type of groups. And it's not like he doesn't care about Muslims and Muslim Brotherhood, and he doesn't care about La Raza. What he cares about is destabilization, right? He wants to destabilize this country. That's what this is all about. Look, I want to go over some headlines. This is just a small example of what's going on right now, but I'm going to go over some headlines. Donald Trump, Hillary's plan for more illegal immigration is a disaster for our country. Now, here's a headline from the Washington Examiner. Hillary drafts illegal dreamers to get immigrants to vote. Hillary Clinton's campaign on Sunday announced a program to recruit undocumented dreamers into a voter registration army, even though they are not allowed to vote. I mean, it's totally illegal and unconstitutional. But we all know that Hillary is above the law. Hillary Clinton promises to give illegal immigrants more tax money, yet another incentive to illegally enter the U.S.
Immigration is at the center of this presidential campaign. In my first 100 days, I will introduce legislation for comprehensive immigration.
Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com. Now, I just had someone tweet me this photo that's very interesting. It's apparently a slide from some kind of army training. And I'm very familiar with looking at something like this. I've seen this before in many briefings. But it says, who is a threat? insiders: Hassan, Manning, Snowden, Alexis, and it also lists David Petraeus and Hillary Clinton on the slide. Now, we do know that Hillary Clinton is a threat to America. She has lied under oath. We know what's happened with Benghazi, the many scandals she's been involved in, the Clinton body count. But here it is now. Maybe the military is completely waking up and showing us who the real threat is to America. Did a little digging around, and actually the Daily Caller ended up doing an article on it. It says, apparent Army OPSEC brief lists Hillary Clinton and David Petraeus as examples of insider security threats. A leaked Army operational security brief appears to show Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and former CIA director David Petraeus listed as two key examples of potential insider threats.
Media cover-up of Chinagate was not simply to protect Bill Clinton. It was to protect the larger agenda that Bill Clinton had facilitated. That was the transfer of enormous technology, critical military technology, to Communist China.
Hillary Clinton and her aides were involved in fundraising for the foundation, and she turned the State Department into the D.C. office of the Clinton Foundation, something she will now do to the White House. What will it take to convince every American citizen that they are being scammed at the highest levels?